Euro, what next?
Well, it seems like the stars have aligned for stronger euro this week. I mean, German politics were the catalyst for that last move, but we had the ECB minutes yesterday. We just highlighted that the ECB is indeed gradually moving towards the exit of its accommodation, right, by emphasizing the importance of, say, the rate outlook now compared to the QE outlook from here. In addition, we had really, I would say, stellar data, especially on the economic side, on the real activity side. We have industrial production, retail sales out of range of countries in the Eurozone. And I guess earlier in the week, we had that story with reserve diversification, which punished the dollar more than anything else, but certainly helped the euro. Fact being that it emphasized that global reserve managers, much like the private investors, are still very much underweight the euro. So all these factors, as I say, the stars have aligned for stronger euro.
Give me levels, Valentin. Give me levels. Give me 2018 levels.
Well, our forecast for this year is 123, 125 year-end. This year may seem rather conservative from current levels, but we have to realize that the ECB is certainly not going to welcome the aggressiveness of the recent moves, right? Not necessarily the level. So I think that before long, the latest move will likely slow down, especially given that we have the ECB meeting at the end of
Is there
January.
a level that the ECB starts to jawbone or not?
Well, I don't think that the level itself matters as such. It's really the pace of appreciation. And what could potentially mitigate the negative impact right now is the fact that at the same time as the euro is appreciating, so is oil, so are commodity prices. So on the whole, the risks to the headline inflation outlook from here have been mitigated by that. So presumably there will be some jawboning come January, but there may be potentially somewhat more half-hearted, if you wish, compared to what we had in September and indeed October last year. All that said, I think it's rather prudent to potentially consider taking profits, especially if we move closer to 122 levels, or indeed try to really break for that level.
Is there a currency, Valentin, as I look at our wonderful WCRS function? These are all the currencies against the euro today. Look at some of those declines. Every single G10 currency is, of course, falling against the euro. If I just change that one day, let's just move it to 12 months, just to give us an idea of. There you go as well. They're all down against the euro over the last year. What's the currency to pair against or bet against when it comes to the euro?
Right now, we think that the best longs may be against Asian currencies. Right. We think that it's part of our outlook for 2018. We think that the global synchronized upswing that we've seen for most of 2017 is going to become much more heterogeneous, especially with China now expected to slow down from the lofty 6.9% growth rate we had last year to 6.5%, if you wish, this year. So that's likely. It's bound to go through a period of economic data disappointments. And we had that. I mean, we just had in the morning the Chinese import data was pretty weak compared to expectations. Plus, we had the monetary aggregates data, which was also underwhelming. And given the forward-looking nature, especially of the monetary aggregates data, I think that the expectations of somewhat weaker data from here will ultimately play as a drag for Aussie, for Kiwi. So if you maintain a relatively constructive view on the euro, despite the lofty levels already, you think that euro Aussie, euro Kiwi could be your crosses of choice if you want to bet on further euro appreciation.